Hey. All right, guys. My day shifted a bit dramatically, and I've got to go support a friend. I expect to be back late tonight, but I have just enough time to do one quick, blunt message for each zodiac. And I thought, you know what? I almost never do that where I do all the zodiacs anyway. It's kind of a rarity, and I have just enough time to do that. And I thought, let's roll with this. This feels meant to be. So we're going to do a quick blunt message. It'll just be kind of a one card for each zodiac. I've got about 30 minutes, and I feel like maybe this is exactly the way it should go. So Libra, we start here. We have a 9 of Wands in the reverse. It says, Libra, let one's heart feel lighter. Let go of the stress. Let go of that 9 of Wands. This is a wounded warrior, emphasis on the warrior, less on the wounded. If Libra has been saying, oh, I still have to try to achieve healing, I still have to, kind of isolate myself. This actually says if Libra were to interact with others, they might discover that they are much more healed than what they think. Sometimes, like let's say if we had an injury or something and we hadn't started to reuse that body part yet, even though we're fully healed, because we're still kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I remember one time I was hurt. It's like, oh, but actually, I've gone through the physical therapy. I've regained range of motion. I can start using this again. It almost feels like Libra's going to be surprised to discover that their heart is more healed than what they think. There's some kind of like wonderful energy of it's better than Libra thinks it is now. And they're going to recognize that maybe even today. Gemini, coming in 129. I will timestamp these. NES. Hey, baby. So great to see you. Gemini, we have a high priestess. It says for Gemini to really listen to their intuition. There is a powerful message coming through right now from their gut, their intuition. They may find meaning in a passage in a book. They may find some kind of message that really speaks to them that could be unexpected. This could be a situation where they, once in a while we go, I'm looking for an answer and I don't know what the answer is. I think oftentimes the answer is inside of us, but this, with that book being open there, I'm wondering if Gemini is going to get some serendipitous confirmation. Maybe they read a passage or they look down at the newspaper, they flip something open and it's like, what is, let me take stock of that. Maybe there's some reason that this is speaking to me. It just feels like Gemini is really tapping into their intuition right now in a really positive way, but there may be some like spark of an idea that takes it from mere intuition into like, okay, now I have a direction. Now I can see, yes, this is the direction to go, or this is why I was thinking about X, Y, or Z. Just feels like that murkiness is going to get more illuminated, and it seems like there may be a passage in a book that could be really helpful to Gemini right now to inspire them. All right, let's get to Aquarius. Guys, these are just the quick little blunt messages because that is what I had time for right now today because my day changed pretty dramatically, but I still really wanted to be with you guys. I hope to be back earlier tonight. Hang on. Aquarius, we literally just had the High Priestess pop back out, just like Gemini got. So, I got to pull a second card anytime we get a duplicate instantly. 2 of Pentacles. This feels like Aquarius has this deep intuition, not only what's good for them, but the decisions that they are going to make are going to be for someone else or for the long term, or I'm getting this vibe that I should start prepping for my future, set aside a little bit more, learn those extra, take that extra night class or something to learn another skill because it's going to be good for my future and possibly for the future of somebody else in my life. This could be the premonition also that Aquarius could wind up having, something that they'll nurture pretty soon, whether this is a baby, a grandbaby, whether this is a business. It just says do a little prep work. What Aquarius is kind of sensing that they might want to learn about. I mean, it's never going to be a mistake to become more educated, right? It's never going to be a mistake to create greater balance, greater opportunities in our life. But it feels like Aquarius already has something that they're interested in. And this is that little like, yeah, I think I will go ahead and figure out how I can make that work. I think it would be nice for me to think about the future. This is very much, to me, that's very much a future message. There could be a Pisces that'll be important in the future as well. I will timestamp these at the very end, but next up is Ophiuchus coming in for 30. These are the quick blunt messages only because Ophiuchus, that's the best I could do for today, although I expect to be back late tonight, so maybe I'll get to see you guys again late tonight. We have a 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is somebody's bummed out right now. If this is Ophiuchus feeling like I'm bored, This is a card of boredom, of perceived missed opportunities, or of disillusionment. This kind of says, hang on now. Maybe it's because of the environment we're in. If we're putting ourselves someplace where nothing's happening, of course it's going to be boring. Sitting by ourselves, in an empty coffee shop could feel dull, but that's an illusion. Outside is not dull. Going out and doing something that we enjoy would maybe liven up our character's energy flow. Reaching out to somebody, swinging by to visit Nana, fill our if we're feeling bored, disillusioned, or lonely, it says, look at the environment we've put ourselves in, because that could be the source of our boredom or disillusionment. And if we go outside and go, where the people are, go where our people are, think about, what can I do that would liven things up? What would infuse my life with something more enjoyable? Maybe where I've put myself is what I'm not actually enjoying. So it's just kind of a different perspective, because this says this is an illusion to shatter. Our character, first off, our character is very interesting also, right? I want to know what her tattoos mean. I want to know what her body art is. I want to know why she dyed her hair cinnamon. I want to know what her story is. So I think Ophiuchus is way more interesting than Ophiuchus is giving themselves credit for, but they may feel like a fish out of water right now. But it says, if you're not finding people to connect with, or you're bored, or you're not finding what you want to stimulate you where you are, maybe change the environment. It doesn't mean you have to change. It means maybe you're in a dull place. I mean, some places are boring. Sometimes it's good to go out and do something different. All right, next up, Virgo, 636. Virgo, here we go. Virgos, this is the quick, blunt message, because that is what I have time for today. My day changed a bit. I need to go support a friend, and I had just 30 minutes before I need to take off. So I still wanted to get one message out for every zodiac, and then tonight I think I'll be able to be back in time to do a little bit more. We have the wild card. Virgo, quick hit, blunt message says, what's the song? Go crazy, crazy. La 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 la. Something Cape by the Ocean. Sorry, that song is in my head right now. Virgo maybe needs to let themselves get invested in something new, something unexpected. If Virgo has had something that they've wanted for a long time, but they haven't, you notice it's a puppy. Dogs are about loyalty. Puppies are about the beginning of giving our attention to something, the beginning of giving our loyalty to something. If this is a chance for Virgo to say, I have wanted to do this thing for a long time. This feels kind of crazy, but maybe I'm going to put myself out there and do something just a little bit out of the ordinary. Something where I don't know if Virgo's day is going to take a completely different twist, if they're going to go ahead and the thing that they do today could set the tone for like the next chapter of their life. Like I said, loyalty, puppies, it says it's the beginning of something that could be a very important trajectory. But first, Virgo has to kind of do the unexpected, do the thing that they've wanted to, or the thing that pops out at them. Sometimes I know I've done stuff like this in my own life where it's like I've driven by like a billboard that advertised something. And I was like, I want to go see what that is. I got to go to that business, that location, that attraction, that, roadside attraction, whatever it is. And sometimes we do stuff like that and it completely changes our life. It does feel like a spontaneous, I'm interested in this, but it does still feel authentic for who Virgo is. This isn't like Virgo doing something they would never do. What comes to my mind right now is once upon a time I was driving, I think it was in Arizona, and I saw a sign that said there was, a huge meteorite crater. And I was like, ooh, sign me up. I turned the car. I just had to go see that. And later, because of that, I took geology courses. And later, because of that, I went to the Yucatan. And, sometimes things in life, they change us because of one moment of inspiration. So that's what I would say. All right, Capricorn, 909. Capricorn, here we go. Caps, this is just a quick blunt message because that is all I have time for at this moment in time, but I really wanted to be with you guys. So here we go. Blunt message here, Capricorn, is 5 of Wands. This is about, normally it's about like play fighting, practicing, analyzing, going round and round in a circle. But you notice that we have two individuals that are both on opposite teams, like soccer teams, but you notice where you can still find harmony. 5 is a number of change. It almost feels like Capricorn, if there's somebody that Cap has been fighting with, this could be like a sibling or something. Right now, today could be a really good day to say, you are my greatest adversary and also the person that challenges me to be my best. So, you know what? Love you, bro. Love you, sis. If this is about lovers, this could be a really great time to say, we are so equally matched, which is maybe why we go toe to toe. Recognizing that sometimes when we go through a conflict or something, and it can be loud, and just like a stadium can be loud and it can be ruckus, it still makes you better. It's still, you wouldn't maybe choose the easier path after all, or you wouldn't choose having people in your life that are just yes men that won't ever tell you the truth, that won't ever challenge you. And it just kind of feels like there's this awareness that maybe I did choose this path, this person, and maybe I'm better for it. This feels like reconciliation energy on that for sure. Taurus coming in at 10:35. Taurians, this is a very quick hit. This is the blunt, raw message, simply because that is what I had time for today. I expect to be back late tonight, but I got to go support a friend. But in the meantime, Taurus, love you guys. Thanks for being here. Quick, blunt message is a King of Cups. Get outside, breathe the fresh air, but also notice, Taurus, notice when the tide brings in a hottie who's staring at us, liking what they see, warmly opening up. I feel like this message to me says Taurus might have ignored it, walked on by. Somebody's trying to catch Taurus's attention who's got like warmth in their eyes, who's got a nice thought process. They're exuding some kind of kindness. Maybe this is going to be unexpected. Maybe this is not Taurus, someone Taurus would normally think they would be attracted to. But let me put it this way. If somebody has a compliment to give you, somebody has a kindness to share with you, somebody, thinks the world of you, why would we not gobble that up? That sounds amazing. But also, if Taurus were about to just walk on by and not notice or dismiss the fact that somebody is clearly looking at them with an appreciative glance or opening up their heart a little bit, wanting to openly communicate, why would we brush that off or blow that off? This kind of says, Taurus, notice what the tide just brought in. Notice, especially today, if Taurus is outside walking around, I feel like heads are going to turn. I feel like there could be some people that notice Taurus. And this is just the encouragement for Taurus to notice in the return. That could be really lovely. That could be really heartwarming. There could be something really, this could be the start of a new relationship. But if nothing else, it might just be a big boost of self-esteem. If Taurus thinks that they're invisible, they are not. There are people that notice Taurus. There are people that think highly of Taurus. And that's just that message to notice that in return. Next up, Leo. I will timestamp these at the end. Leo, this is a quick, blunt message. That is because that is what I have time for. My day just shifted dramatically. I've got to go support a friend. I will be back late tonight, most likely, and maybe get to see you guys again tonight. But in the meantime, I still wanted to touch base. I'm going to Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands here is big passion. Leo, this is Leo standing there in this energy of intensity, of power, of desire. And if Leo doesn't think that they're getting married, they are dead wrong. This Leo is going to be in their whatever, their white dress, their tux, whatever this is. We see the horizon. This may not be instantly. Leo could just now be starting to recognize that they're seeing this for their future again. Leo could be about to meet somebody that's very attractive. Leo could notice someone is noticing them, but there is a spark of passion and desire that I almost think Leo thought would not happen for them again. Sometimes we gradually get to a point of being able to see our future open back up for us. Sometimes we get very narrow visioned. We're only in our present. We're thinking that our life, the way it's played out, is all there is. This is like Leo gets a whole second lease on life. I could feel like, I don't know if there's something about this new dawn also that makes me think Leo might be recovering from like a sickness and illness. They're feeling more empowered. They're feeling like, oh my God, I still have a future. For a little while, I just didn't see that for myself. Now I do. I feel this second chance at life, or this renewed sense of hope. I see a different timeline for myself. This is awesome. I hope that Leo really basks in that energy and gets more excited and starts to engage in something that they love doing today. I think that's going to be good to keep that vibe going. Next up, I got Sag coming in at 14:20. Sagittarius, this is a quick, blunt message. That is all I got time for right now because my day just shifted a bit, but I still wanted to hang out with you guys for just a brief moment before I have to disappear. I hope to be back tonight. We got the Six of Cups. Blunt message. Oh, Sag, somebody's thinking about Sag. Somebody who's never forgotten Sag. Lifetime after lifetime, they've never forgotten Sag. I feel like this is somebody who could already have a lot of memories, or all those pictures hanging on the wall are more like memories even from past lives. As a weird side note, someday I'll post a picture of my mother's bathroom. It could be this picture. She has 126 pictures of cats that she's framed and hung in her very small bathroom. I should never taken her to the Louvre. She was very inspired by all of the paintings. I was painted when I was younger, and I loved classical paintings, and I copied a lot of impressionistic paintings and just a lot of the famous paintings. And so once upon a time I took her to the Louvre with me in Paris, and it's lovely the way they have everything displayed, but it's just, huge rooms with many, many paintings. And she decided after that she was doing that, but with cat pictures. So I smile, and sorry to tell a personal anecdote there, but I only smile because I feel like someone's very inspired. Somebody has like all their favorite memories might be of Sag. This is somebody who wants to be back in Sag's life. If this is Sag, I just don't feel like it is, because we're looking out at somebody who's clearly reminiscing with nostalgia. If this is a partner that Sag is still currently with, it's almost like their heart, all the best moments of their life have already been shared with Sag. Like, this is somebody who's like, I pick you every single time, every single lifetime, I'm going to pick you. There's a very sweet energy here, or it's that it might be the Sag wants to reach out to somebody who they're thinking of heavily. Well, I think it's a two-way street in this story for this message. Happy nostalgia, the tough times, the good times, the colorful times. It seems like that's what's on somebody's mind. And it's not too late to create more memories. Nostalgia, yes, but it doesn't mean that that's all in the past, because we still got plenty of time to make more memories. This looks very exciting, very positive. Next up, we got Aries coming in at 1641. Aries, my loves, I had just a half an hour before I must leave. I got to go support a friend today. I decided let me do one quick blunt message for each zodiac. And then I hope to be back late tonight and maybe hang out with you guys some more. We have the Devil, Capricorn energy. Okay, I always look at this as my femme fatale, my sexy, spicy, saucy, smoky, hot card. Aries seems like a honey trap right now. And I'm not saying it has to be toxic. The Devil does not have to be toxic. First off, it's just Capricorn energy. But secondly, it can just be passion. But I definitely feel like right now, if there's something Aries wants, Aries is a big temptation. Aries is come on. They got the smoky bedroom eyes. Aries is rocking it right now. They are staring somebody down. And all I can say is that be careful what you wish for, Aries, because probably with that smoky, alluring sexiness, Aries is going to be reeling people in. I'm not saying that they have to like show cleavage to bring somebody forward. Sexy is many things. It doesn't mean showing more flesh is more sexy. In fact, sometimes that's like super not sexy. But let's just say the energy. I think energy, charisma, that's really what makes somebody sexy. Now, maybe Aries is kind of dressing more provocative. Hey, do you, boo? But I would say it's more the overall energy. I do feel like Aries knows it right now. They may be trying to send out the vibe of, I'm ready for, a little bit of trouble. I'm ready for a little bit of lust. I'm ready for a little bit of something. Yeah, I want somebody to notice me. Fine, go ahead, get hooked on me. I do feel like there's this edge right now to Aries. Like, yeah, I'm hot. Yeah, I'm sexy. I hear that song, Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me? The only reason I said be careful what you wish for, Aries, because Aries is going to be attracting a lot. They're going to be attracting people they don't want. They're going to be attracting people they do want. They are a major temptation, and I feel like Aries is kind of reveling in this. It does feel a little bit like a game. It's fun to be sexy, right? This doesn't have to mean it's toxic, unless Aries is like, I want to break your heart. I don't picture Aries pulling that game. But I'm just saying, be mindful that, when Aries is kind of feeling their oats right now, feeling kind of powerful, feeling kind of sexy, be gentle with people's hearts. But I definitely feel like Aries is extremely alluring right now. But it looks like they've got an idea of who they want to bring in. Aries is going to get what they want. That's what I see on that one. Scorpio, you guys are next. 1922. I will timestamp this afterwards. Scorpio, I'm sorry. My day went really sideways. I had just a half hour that I could still hang out with you guys before I must go support a friend. I expect to be back late tonight, but in the meantime, I want to do one quick blunt message for each zodiac. Scorpio, you just got two cards. We'll keep them. We got the Ace of Pentacles and the Justice card. That is strong Libra energy. This is a new beginning after a very significant either betrayal, setback, somebody that didn't treat Scorpio well. You know what? The best, this is at least what I always think, the best revenge is to forget. Move on, be super successful. She has this grand opening at her flower shop. This is, I think, our Scorpio in their comeback story. I think that this is Scorpio saying, you didn't treat me well, so guess what? I treated myself 10 times better than somebody else would have. Oh, I wasn't allowed to do this. Oh, somebody cheated and took away my opportunities. Screw you. I'll make my own opportunities and I'll make them 10 times better than what I was first trying to attempt before somebody blocked me. I'm not going to let myself stop, altering. If I hit a roadblock, and especially an unfair one, guess what? I sidestep to the left. You're going to make me more creative. You're going to make me more successful. Every time you block me, every time you stop me, all I'm going to do is be more creative with how I get around your blockages. And I feel like this is a very much like, this isn't angry. I hope it doesn't sound that way from my lips. It's just, these are going to be blunt messages, and forgive me. I tend not to talk very soft when I'm being blunt, but I feel like this is Scorpio saying, thank you for all of the wrongs you tried to do me, because it made me more flexible and it made me achieve more. In fact, maybe I wouldn't have gone after my big dream unless I'd been a little bit pissed off that things were unfair. And now look at me now. I love this. Scorpios like, stay flexible, stay strong. And every time there's an unfair roadblock, shift to the left. You can sashay, you can samba, you can do those side steps. You got this. You're not going to be blocked by anybody. Pisces is next, coming in at 2137. Pisces, I just have a little bit of time before I have to leave and go support a friend. My day went a little bit sideways, so I want to do one quick blunt message for each zodiac, because that's what I had time for, and I do hope to be back late tonight and maybe get a chance to be with you guys again. But blunt message right now is Wheel of Fortune, and this is, I know there's that song about collecting dreams and something about your, or maybe it's collecting a jar of hearts. That's not a happy song, but there's another song I'm thinking of that has to do with like collecting your dreams in a jar. Also, sometimes people literally write down their dreams and put them in a jar, a jar full of wishes. This has a dream catcher up above. We have got all of our dreams in this jar that have been saved. The Wheel of Fortune says, guess what? Like, those it's time to open up the jar and start pulling those little slips of paper out and reading them one at a time. Remember what your wishes were. See how many have already come true, and the ones that haven't, guess what? Now's a great time to start making those things come true. There's this positive shift. It may not happen until like tonight. There could be one wish that comes true, and this is like heralds in this new timeline of great opportunities. I do feel like I know this is weird, but I think that maybe writing down a wish and like tucking it under one's pillow or something and like sleeping and dreaming on it is another part of this, because the dreams are important. I feel like either somebody's going to start to have like answers to how to make some of their dreams come true. Maybe they get it through the dream state. There could be some very vivid dreams, very lucid dreams. But I feel like this is a time for like, maybe divine inspiration is coming through, but it's also like good karma has opened up a chapter, and that chapter is like, all things are possible now, or certainly many, many wishes and dreams are possible to have them come true at this point. So remember what those wishes and dreams are. If, there was ever a notebook, wrote manifestations in, and those things didn't happen yet, it was just because it was about divine timing. It's not because the universe didn't get your order. If you call up a pizza place and order your pizza, they still got to bake it and then, deliver it to you. They got your order, but the dough is still doughy. It's got to bake in the oven. Just because you order the pizza, hang up, it doesn't mean that they're ringing your doorbell by the time you hang up your phone. You got to let them bake it first. The universe was baking it. So this is really awesome. This is like all those wishes and dreams. Remember what they were, because they're going to start coming true. That's awesome. And Cancer, I'm going to add Cancer in this, even though normally I do Cancer on the other channel. But I want to add Cancerian because I don't want to leave them out. I always, if I do all zodiacs like this, I put them all together. Cancer, I'm sorry, my day went sideways and I will be gone. I got to go support a friend. I expect to be back late tonight. So hope I'll see you guys again later. But in the meantime, the quick blunt message, I believe it was Taurus who also got this. We got a King of Cups. That King of Cups is loving. This could be a water sign. This could be somebody whose heart is really open. This could be a message more from an ancestor is what I'm getting, which is totally different than the message that I got from the Taurus when that card came out. I feel like this could be like the reassurance that an ancestor is, first off, they're doing great. They're on the other side of the rainbow bridge doing what they love best. But it also feels like somebody's like really, really proud of Cancerian. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of like message in a body of water, or maybe Cancerian like likes the ocean, or maybe they're going to see images of the ocean or water or surfboards or something today, whether it's pictures or it's, you know, something on somebody's t-shirt. But I feel like there's a message trying to come through from like an ancestor that is both like loving and supportive, and it's kind of like ride the waves, go with the flow. Cancerian, remember to laugh, remember to be happy, remember to love. Don't spend too much time being sad. This is about like, you know, there's going to be a lot of emotions that we go through in life, but get through the sad parts and get back to laughter as quick as possible. If Cancerian has lost something and an ancestor is trying to help Cancerian feel that perspective of losses are really hard to go through for sure. But as much as, you know, the tide pulls away, it also comes back in, like good stuff comes back in. You know, keep looking forward to the next hour where things feel brighter. Keep looking forward to the next day or the next year where more things come into your life. There's going to be more things that wash up on shore. So look forward to that. This is very supportive, but it definitely feels like an ancestor message about, you know, kind of dry your tears a little bit. But I definitely feel like Cancerian could see images or something of water or something that reminds him of an ancestor. And that's that supportive message. You guys, it's so good to see everybody. I am so delighted to see you. I'm sorry that this is so swift. I do hope to be back later on tonight. But thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and timestamp these real quick. And then I need to go help out a friend right now. So I will be back as soon as I can. But I send you guys lots of love. Thank you so much. And I hope I'll see you guys again later tonight, no matter how late it may be. Bye for right now. Love you guys. Bye.